Welcome to Swolehammer. Even though we love the frantic action of Warcry and the skirmish gameplay of Kill Team, there's something to be said about fielding a big army. Hence why I started Starting Sigmar. For whoever is new to the channel or series, the mission of these videos are to help new players make a fun and efficient army from a specific faction, rounding out to a 1,000-point list, which is the lowest tier of competitive play. We also want to make it easy to acquire these items and enjoyable to hobby with. The criteria are as follows. We avoid making lists with repeat models. Models need to be easily accessible either from a Games Workshop store or Amazon. I like to support local, but sometimes prices can't be beat online. All models suggested are in plastic, and we only focus on armies with the current edition's battle tomes. We're in the 3rd edition of Age of Sigmar. Some armies still only have their 2nd edition rules, and I don't want to do videos on them until they get their new rules because the videos will go out of date quicker. So join me as we bite into the Ogor Mawtribes. So why play Ogor Mawtribes? If your brand of destruction is elite and beef, then ogres are for you. Sporting 2 different flavors, the Gutbusters are eternally hungry powerlifters that stomp around on foot, throwing their weight around and making whatever stands in their way a quick meal. Meanwhile, Beastclaw Raiders are cursed with a harsh environment called the Everwinter, in which they now harness it to their advantage while riding great beasts to pulverize their foes. All in all, badass stuff. Both ogre halves include smaller units like Gnoblars and Frost Sabers, but the Mawtribes are mainly about big bods and chunking your foes with high damage. Priests and wizards add variety and enhance your melee efficiency. Go forward and annihilate as a good ogre should. Now on to the buy list. And since ogres are my brand of destruction, and they are kind of hard to collect since a good chunk of them are resin still, we have not 1, not 2, but 3 lists to go over. So let's get going. If you want to go into ogres as fast as possible, buy list number 1's for you. You get the Vanguard box, and you literally call it a day. $130 value. The list might not be the most efficient thing on the planet, but it will get you a good start into whatever ogre army you want to do. List number 2 sticks with one of your purchases being this valuable Vanguard box, but includes a couple other things for a main force of on-foot ogres. Since unfortunately the lead belchers in the Vanguard box can't be made into iron guts, we gotta buy a box separately. No problem. On top of that, the new Blood Pelt Hunter will round out your list and be a good on-foot, hard-hitting melee force for your Ogor Mawtribes. Getting the extra boxes is a little bit of a hit to your wallet, but I feel like this is maybe just a better way of building if you want to go for purely Gutbuster ogres. Now, for list number 3, we can't forget the Big Brothers and the Beastclaw Raiders. However, I will preface this breaks the rubric for Starting Sigmar a tiny bit because it includes the old start collecting Beastclaw Raiders. Now defunct because of the Vanguard box, you'll have to find this either at your LGS or some other store around you. That being said, the hunt is totally worth it because there's no real better start into Beastclaw Raiders than this box. On top of it, we're going to get another box of Mournfang. If you want to shave some dollars off this price, you can find the old Mournfang box that has actually 2 Mournfang instead of 4 because we only need 6 for our list. However, it's easier to get the box of 4. It's readily available online, and also if you're going to Beastclaw Raiders, you want as many big boys as possible. Now on to the list themselves, and list number 1 is going to be Underguts because we have everything from the Vanguard box. You have Lead Belchers and an Iron Blaster to benefit from the extra rend. While I'm not a fan of Iron Blaster spam, I think this will be just a good, fun enough list without being toxic for new players. Also, it's hard to argue with a 1 purchase list. List number 2 is the more specialized Gutbusters list, and we're going Meat Fist this time. Since we're all on foot, have hardly any range, except the Iron Blaster that we're keeping from the Vanguard box, we're using the Tyrant, the new Blood Pelt Hunter, 4 Iron Guts, and 6 Gluttons for a mass of bodies coming at you, with the Blood Pelt and the Iron Blaster just being some range support. For on-foot ogres, this is my brand of violence, and I think that this would be a very fun list to do. Now on to probably my favorite lists of the three, and that's the Beastclaw Raiders one. We're doing Thunderbellies because it benefits Mournfang to be able to run and charge in a turn, which is really good. So in this list, you're taking Frostlord on Stonehorn from the Start Collecting box, 4 of the Mournfang from the Start Collecting box, and the 2 other Mournfang that you got from whatever box you ended up getting. Simple yet effective in its execution. You have the Frostlord destroying anything in its path, with the Mournfang being able to go on points or back up your Frostlord in combat. You can run one of the Mournfang pack in a group of 4 if you want the benefit of the Hornblower and the Standard Bearer, but realistically in 1,000 points, it's not going to subtract any real value from this list. So that's it! If you enjoyed this video or have any ideas for lists or purchases for new Ogre players, let us know in the comments. I know a lot of them are resin, so I didn't include stuff like Butchers, but they are valuable to your list. And if you want more Starting Sigmars of any specific faction, let us know. Slaves of Darkness, Gloomspite, and Beasts of Chaos will be on the horizon. We'll get to Sons of Bahamut at some point. Either way, this is Rafik from Swolehammer. Stay swole.